Tax relief firms make a big to-do about settling your tax debt for less than you owe. It's called an offer in compromise. You submit an offer to the IRS, and the IRS accepts that offer for much less than you owe. It does work. We've had much success in successfully getting offers in compromise accepted. So it's not crazy, but you need to know the downside of offers in compromise because, again, so many firms put forward the idea. They close potential taxpayers on their services. They take a big deposit of money, several $1,000s, when in truth they may know you have no shot at getting that offer accepted because, frankly, most offers in compromise are rejected. So I just want to share with you a little bit about what to expect and what the downside is of submitting an offer in compromise. I'm Jim Flauaus. I've worked with taxpayers since 2014 to resolve their tax debt and their IRS stress and just get a fresh start. And we've had great success around the country. I'm authorized to represent taxpayers in all 50 states. I do so out of Virginia, but I have a virtual practice whereby, as you understand it, you now today can work with a tax professional who's as close as your phone. Communication is easy via texting, via messaging. You can upload documents through a portal. You can have Zoom meetings. It's very easy to connect with a tax professional, not based on where they're located down the street, but based on their expertise in getting the work done that you need in resolving your tax situation and representing you before the IRS. So that being said, here's a few things to keep in mind about why you shouldn't just jump into an offer in compromise. The first thing to keep in mind is the IRS is going to get a full roadmap of your finances when you submit an offer. What does that mean? Well, they're going to know about all your bank accounts. They're going to know about all your investment accounts. What equity do you have in your home? Do you have crypto? Do you have rental properties? They're going to know it all. And the fact is, when they have all that information, if they say no to your offer, now they know where the money is. They've gotten up close, they've gotten personal, and they know where to go to get the money. So it actually strengthens their case if your offer is not accepted. And again, most are not accepted. That's one big thing to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind, number two, is when you submit an offer, the collection statute of limitations is frozen. It's officially, the term is it tolls the statute, meaning the pause button is hit. The pause button is important because the IRS has 10 years to collect debt. You submit a return, the tax is assessed, and then they have 10 years from that assessment date to collect the money. If they don't collect it in 10 years, you're no longer liable. But here's the problem. You submit an offer can take 6 to 12 months, even longer, to get accepted. It is a lengthy, exhaustive process. It's much like applying for a mortgage loan with all the documentation you've got to provide, and then they will ask you to resubmit documents 3 months later because they want to make sure your finances haven't changed or you haven't dissipated assets along the way. All this takes time. All this puts the collection statute expiration date on hold. Effectively, if they reject your offer, they've now got more time to collect. That's the downside. Here's the third problem with an offer in compromise. If it's accepted, you've got to be squeaky clean for 5 years. Now, what do I mean by that? For the next 5 years, you can't file a late return. You can't miss a payment. You can't file a return with a balance due that you think you're going to pay later. None of that can happen because if any of it does, the full liability can come back on you. So if you owed the IRS 50,000 and you settled for 10, you've got $40,000 more now back as a tax liability plus interest and penalties. So you've got to be squeaky clean. You've got to make sure you're really turning the page on whatever it was that got you into tax debt in the past. Any of the procrastination, any of the mindset that you can file an extension and pay later, none of that works anymore. You've got to file on time, pay on time, be squeaky clean, or it all comes back. And here's the fourth reason, and it's the real kicker. Most offers in compromise get rejected. I think I've gone through the numbers earlier. 30 to 40% of them are accepted. That means that most are rejected. And even higher is the rejection rate if you don't work with a tax professional who has some expertise and experience in getting offers in compromise accepted. Now, we've submitted offers for $1 to settle a debt for 25, and it's been accepted, 25,000. So, $25,000 debt, they accept $1. They settle for less. $352,000 debt, they settle for less, 22,500. These are real cases, real people. We've had success working. So I'm all for the offer and compromise when you qualify. Too many times, taxpayers don't qualify. Tax relief firms jump on their fear, take a big deposit, and then submit an offer that's dead on arrival at the offer and compromise office. So I think offers in compromise are great. I think they're out of the park home runs when they work and when you qualify. It's just important. Work with a professional who can help you to get across the finish line. And don't start the process if he doesn't or she doesn't feel you've got at least a 90% chance of getting this offer accepted. I'd rather underpromise and overdeliver. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad actors in my industry. They would rather overpromise, underdeliver, but they've got the check. And you need someone who can give you the facts and not the gimmicks about tax resolution. If you need help, contact me. I'm Jim Flauaus. We have a link down below you can hit to contact me, schedule a free consult, and please hit the subscribe button. That means a lot to me. And like this video, and we'll see you next time.